Order. Good evening, everyone. This is a meeting of the Lakeville Conservation Commission. It is August 24th. My name is Bob Bouchard. I'm chairman, and I'll take the roll call for the rest of the group. Joseph?
Present.
And Mark?
Present.
Nancy informed me that she's ill, so she won't be here. We're waiting, we're holding our breath, waiting for Josh. And Fred is still not available.
And John said he probably wouldn't make it.
And John.
Yeah.
So he may show up later as well. So, all right, so that's good enough. Let's hear from Lakeville Hospital.
All right, for the record, my name is Derek Massionis. I'm with VHB. I guess the first item we have is to request a certificate of compliance for an order of conditions that was previously issued on March 29th of 2019. And that work included direct wetland impacts for a new drive that connected to Rhode Island Road. That work never started and obviously won't with the new development. So we're really just looking to clear that from our title.
And again, I almost shot myself in the foot asking the question.
So
Is there anything else you can tell us about?
that was the first item, and then like we just discussed, the other item that we had is a request for the new original copy of the COC that was issued back in July, and that was for an order of conditions in 2007. And we went to record that at the registry, and they wouldn't take the copy of that. So
Okay, well, as soon as we get all the signatures, we'll reissue that.
Just to make sure, that was the 819?
the second item you're talking about,
You have the file number?
that was the COC 192-528.
Okay.
That's when we voted on a couple meetings ago?
Yep,
Yes.
that was issued back in July.
And that's the one you need the copy of?
We need the copy of that, correct? And then we are requesting a new COC for an order of conditions that was issued back in 2019. I can give you the filing number for
That's the
that as well.
819?
That's the 819, correct.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
John LeBlanc, it appears he may be able to be here in 15 minutes.
Okay.
So if we wanted to just continue gathering information, if you guys don't mind kind of doing a round robin of information, and then if the fourth member shows up and we have a quorum, then we could actually act on some stuff.
Yeah, you
That
stuck it
makes
out
sense.
this long.
Was that John's cell phone you had?
I texted John LeBlanc.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Because I have his cell phone number here.
All right, so there's hope yet. So is there anything else you can?
Nope, that's
on
it.
that? So otherwise we're ready to vote as soon as we're
Other
legit.
than fill in John as to what he's voting for if he does make it.
Oh, okay. Give him 5 minutes to make up his mind.
Yep.
All right.
Give him a list of how to vote.
Why don't you write it out for him?
I will. Maybe
This
15 to 20 minutes will be
question,
set.
but the work that was proposed,
Yep.
what part of the hospital grounds overall does that encompass?
I only have a 8.5 by 11 plan. I can actually give you guys this. But it's just a connection back into Rhode Island Road.
Okay.
So there are just a couple wetland impacts to make that driveway connection.
Okay. Because the site's been chopped up so many times,
Exactly, yep.
and make sure that we know what parcel we're voting on. Do you want to see this, Mark?
Like I said, that work never started, nor is going to happen just with the new development.
So we'll, as soon as we're able.
All right, I can stick around too in case you want to give me.
I don't want to miss anything,
Yeah,
because it gets better.
perfect. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Next, 85 Holland by Zenith. We're here looking for a certificate of compliance.
Joe, I noticed you had some notes on that. Do you have the file number on this one?
Good evening.
Good evening. For the record, Niall Zager from Zenith.
528.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So we were before you, we were issued an order of conditions for construction of a single-family home within the 200-foot riparian zone of a stream located off-site. And obviously, all that work has been completed. We provided you with the Form AA, also with a letter and an as-built for your record. Everything has been stabilized, everything was completed per the plan, and we're just here requesting a certificate. So I don't know if anybody got a chance to go by the site, but I believe I provided pictures as well of the site, for your record.
Yeah, I did see him in our back. It looked like grass was growing good.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, you said we cannot ask questions?
What's the question? And we'll
Well,
tell you.
it says here that obviously the water purification system, the backwash, can't go into the septic. And it says shall discharge to a dry well or to the ground. I've never seen it to the ground. And if there is a dry well there, it's not on the plan.
No, so that's just our standard note. There's actually no water purification system there now. It's a note that we put on our as-bills to make sure that the homeowner is aware of it.
Okay?
But as per Title V, it is allowed to be dumped on the ground, to actually be able to just discharge at the ground or into
You
a
would
dry
think
well.
people would not want that.
It depends on the situation,
Right.
but yes, you're right.
I had a second question. Bottom hole inspection was performed by the Board of Health. By whom and when?
It was Ed Cullen, and I don't know the date.
Okay? Shouldn't that be on the plan?
As far as the date goes, it was,
So that's sort of a piece of information I think would want, I just noted it wasn't there.
that plan was approved by the Board of Health, so.
Okay, okay.
You're looking for just a vote as well.
We should have kept Niles up there, because if we skipped over the LeBaron Hills while we wait for John to show up, Niles could handle that 460 Bedford Street thing.
Yeah,
Really?
keep you going.
For the record, again, Niall Zager from Zenith. So this was before you, at your last hearing, was it actually an RDA that was filed for a septic upgrade at 460 Bedford Street? And I believe that the commission felt as though that it required a notice, so that's why we're back before you. I know it was already presented, but basically what we're doing is we have work, the septic system's in the rear of the property where the wetland is located. There's a well in the front, which is forcing us to put that septic system in the rear. We are proposing silt sock for erosion control, and we're keeping it as far away from that resource area as possible. But it does meet, and now it will obviously meet all new Title V requirements, and that's really about it. So I think it's nothing from the RDA filing to this NOI filing has changed at all in the plan. It was literally just the filing itself, so.
The only thing that's changed is that Clear Pond Road got put back where it belonged in the town. That weird computers will do weird things to you.
Yes. Okay.
All right, thank you. So, Barron Hills. Let's do that next. This is an amendment to the O-Rad.
Yes, good evening, everyone. For the record, Tim McGuire, I'm a wetland scientist with Goddard Consulting, here on behalf of the applicant, Stonebridge Homes. Essentially, we've been before you a few times over the spring to request an amendment to an existing O-Rad depicting the location of Thompson Brook, the perennial stream. At this point, we've sent in 2 response letters to comments from the peer reviewer, Environmental Partners, and at this point we have, as of August 10th, received a final letter from Brad Holmes from Environmental Partners stating that he is in agreement with our line as shown. Essentially, from the last plan iteration that was before you, we've essentially refined the line using some aerial imagery from drone photos that ECR took, and with some field data. We field located as many points of the stream as accessible in the field. So other portions, as previously mentioned in other hearings, are just inaccessible due to the deep mucky conditions. We have my coworker, who is 6'4", was
I
out
was gonna
there
ask
with
if
me.
you lost anyone, yeah.
We did, but we didn't lose him.
Hauled him out?
Yes, no. So came out unscathed, and now we have a line before you that the peer review does agree with. So
we flew a drone over it too, right? We just
the peer reviewer did, yes. I would love to take credit for it, but it was all him.
but that's what I meant.
Yes.
To confirm the points, they flew a drone over it.
Yeah, I saw it in the record, it was pretty
Yes,
impressive.
and in our most recent letter in which we responded to ECR's comments, we did show an overlay of the line that we're proposing as best as we could along those aerial photos of the drone too, and they did overall support the line that we're proposing.
Yay! Sorry. Glad you could show up,
Hey,
John.
John, thanks for coming.
Sorry I'm late.
Well, you were about to save me the breath of asking if you had any questions or concerns, so. So Bob, would you like me to, are we gonna go through everyone again, or should I just repeat for the new member here?
Mr. Chairman, we should
Great.
note that John has
That John is
made an
present?
appearance and we now have
Let the
officially
record-
a quorum.
At 7:25.
Yes, 7:25. So we're official. What we're doing, just for your information, John, is we're informally listening to everyone, just their comments. We're not asking them any questions. We're not voting on anything.
Okay.
We thought we'd get a lot of that out of the way.
Yep.
And then if you have any questions, we'll go ahead and start the formal part of the hearing and
Okay.
and vote each one as appropriate. So we could actually do that now. Do you have any questions on this particular, on?
Which one is this?
The LeBaron Boulevard.
No, I
O-Rad
read
amendment.
So the letter from Brad Holmes?
the Brad, yeah.
Yeah.
A letter from Brad Holmes, so I'm good with that.
And my opinion of it is it's satisfactory. That was done. It took a while to get there, so I appreciate your patience on that. But I recommend that we would vote in favor.
So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page too. There was some question about the plans, and those plans, the most revised copy that we're talking about for the August 5th revision.
I have them pulled up right here. Let me just confirm that sounds right. We just added in a few points there from field
That's
data.
the date you sent me was the 8/5/21.
That's what he referenced in his letter.
8/5/21, okay, so that is the plan, okay.
So if there was no other discussion, Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion.
Go right ahead.
Make a motion to approve the O-Rad on the plan dated August 5th, 2021 for the residents at LeBaron Hills.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Any more discussion? In that case, all those in favor? Say aye. Opposed? None? Motion passes. So you're good.
All right, thank you very much for your time. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Okay, we can either go back over old ground or take the next one in line and come back after.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
You're welcome, have a good night.
John, do you need a little bit of time to get caught up to?
No, I read through the packet this morning, so
All right.
let's go.
Give you a brief synopsis, if we go back to the beginning, John?
Yep.
VHB's here looking for
Certificate of compliance.
a certificate of compliance and then a copy of one we approved in July.
All right.
And we reviewed information from him. Basically, it's another NOI that was never performed.
Correct.
So we're just looking to close it out.
Sure.
That was the old one that had the road going out from the back over to
The dog park.
79. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
All right, then, do I hear a motion for this one?
Did you draft one, Joe, or no?
No, go ahead.
Make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance on DEP file number 192-819 on 38 and rear Rhode Island Road of the Lakeville Hospital property.
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And no one abstains. Okay, so the motion carries. Thank you.
And you have all the information to generate the one for 528 that we have to sign again?
Yep, I've got the signature page here.
What's the protocol for that? Do we have to look at our copy and see that everyone signs in the same place and all that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be the same people, the same, everything
same.
else the same.
Okay.
All right, so Niles, you can, let's take a vote on your two.
You guys heard.
Yeah, you had a good practice.
Is this for 85 Howland?
This
or-
is for 85, yes,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, do you want me to go back through it again?
Yeah, you don't have to, unless John has any questions.
Yeah, it was a COC request, John, for
Yeah.
a single-family house that was within the riparian zone off-site, and we're just here. I think I provided pictures of the site and, you know, the stabilized area and everything with an as-built.
Have you been out, boss?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one that has the lawn pretty much already in?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done a few cuts on it. It's, you know, they've probably done about 3 or 4. It's a good, it's a typical summer lawn.
Based on what you saw from your site visit, Mr. Chair, were you satisfied with what
Yes,
you
I
saw?
was. Yeah.
Okay. I would make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 85 Howland Road for DEP file number SE 192-843.
Okay. We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No one opposed, motion carries. Next one,
Thank you.
460 Bedford. I can ask you now, all the information was in the initial filing, the RDA, which doesn't exist, right? We never voted on it, that's just to clear up the record.
Oh, this is the one from the last one.
That's
The
correct.
last time.
That's a septic upgrade, correct.
So you're just reissuing all the information in the form of an NOI.
That's correct.
I have a question on that, though. I had asked previously about perhaps doubling up on the erosion control on that back slope, since it was so close and so steep. Did you give that any thought?
Honestly, I didn't, that wasn't relayed to me.
Yeah, you weren't here.
But I can make sure that it's, if you would be happy, we'd be happy to do it if you could make it a condition of the approval.
I don't want to be alone on this. Does anyone else think it's a good idea? And if not, say
Yeah,
so.
because that's an easy B slope there, you drop 10 feet in about 85 feet.
What do we prefer? The silt sock, I mean, that's what he has on the plan along with the silt fence. The doubling of those usually works pretty good. I know I was asked to do that at my property in Kenneth Welch because it was very close to the wetlands. And it did serve the purpose well.
Yeah, I like that setup.
And all we need is one of these monster rainfalls, like we had, everything washes away.
Yeah, I've witnessed quite a few lately, and that's what prompted me to ask. There are quite a few that are failing, need repair. So if you don't mind, we make that a condition.
And I know Nancy wanted this changed from an RDA to an NOI because of
Yeah.
the inability to put a condition on it. Did she voice any concerns or specific conditions?
She was in favor of doubling it
Okay.
as well.
All right, so if that was what she's asking for, we'll definitely include that in the motion.
Okay, and I think that was it. I can't think of any other conditions other than our standard standard conditions for construction.
Was that, did you make a motion on that, Mark?
I'm ready to.
Okay.
I just didn't know if discussion was done. So if you'll entertain, make a motion to close the hearing and issue an order of conditions for 460 Bedford Street, upgrade of a septic system with all of the Conservation Commission standard conditions, as well as doubling up the erosion control with silt sock and silt fence along the dashed line shown on the plan for the location of silt fence.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
So, it's a contest. Who's got the shakiest leg here?
Mine's fine now,
Oh, okay.
believe it or not.
Cool.
That's the problem.
Is it really?
Yes.
All right, so that leaves us with 2 Charles Street.
Yep.
Good evening, folks. Smart Products Analysis and Design Engineering. I'm here representing Michael Hogan, the property at 2 Charles Street. I do have a couple receipts. I certified mailing to the water
I
department.
take those?
Times 2.
That was one of my questions about his list.
1, 2. This is a request for determination of applicability to abandon an existing gray water cesspool on the property. The existing cesspool was never what you might call addressed back in the 2004 timeframe when a new soil absorption system was designed. It was a pre-treatment system with a singular system, but for some reason, which the question was asked to me and I do not have the answer, the gray water cesspool continued to stay in effect. So what we're wanting to do today with our RDA and our construction permit application to Board of Health is quite simply to pump and fill in the existing gray water cesspool. That lies about 75 feet or so away from the edge of Long Pond. Abandon that system, and the client is going to repipe the washing machine discharge internally to the home and connect that to the existing soil absorption system and on-site wastewater treatment system. So it's a matter of pumping and dropping some earth into the hole. 75 feet away, it's on a terraced area, grassy area. So there's really little activities above and beyond filling in a cesspool that's no longer going to be used and abandoned.
Mr. Chair, can I ask a question?
Sure.
The existing cesspool tank, is the top of that gonna be broken up? I assume you'll pour sand into it after you pump it, but are they gonna break up the cover at all, or take it so you don't see it, or are they just?
Yes, the intent is to pump it, earth fill it, crush it, and then stabilize it to grade.
So,
Right now, it's just a 4-inch thick concrete cover, 24-inch cover.
how much earth disturbance around that tank do you think that there'll be?
Not more than an 8-foot diameter circle. Right now, what I've seen when I was on site was it appeared to be about an 8-foot diameter pit, about 8 feet deep. But I couldn't confirm that because it was in use. So it's about 8-foot diameter, 8 foot deep. We're going to fill that with earth and then stabilize it to grade and put some seed on top of it.
Mini excavator, probably, how are you gonna do that work?
The intent, and I did speak to the contractor about that, that's a good question. Danielle Street runs along the side of the property. As you can see, this is very close to the property line.
Denise Street, you mean?
Denise, D-E-N-E-I-S-E, correct. So the intent was to bring the earth in with a machine over the existing aprovites and drop it into the hole. So there's not even any machines that are going to be prancing around into the back. It's almost impossible to get into the backyard with the machine anyway.
Yeah.
But the intent was to go right over the top of those shallow aprovites and earth fill it, and then rake it, seed it, and be done with this. Right?
So you'll have minimal disturbance, and you have access to get within reasonable reach to do the work with reasonable machinery?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's Denise. That's the intent of how we were always going to address the situation.
Okay. I have no further questions, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Anyone else?
Is there any kind of erosion control in place? Or?
Given there is none shown on my plan, And the reason for that is essentially it's a terraced area. There's a stone wall that's
Oh, there
about 4
already,
feet
yeah,
tall.
yeah.
Okay.
So I thought that would serve as an adequate control because there will
it's
be
already in
no
place.
earth, no
Yeah.
anything that should be moving beyond that small.
And the machine's not gonna go beyond that towards the pond.
No,
And this is
I don't
a,
think it could get there if
Yeah.
it wanted to. So
Yeah.
the answer is no.
Take
this
an
is a
earthquake.
one-day job, and it's gonna be probably loamed and seeded that same day.
Yes.
Could be.
In fact, the contractor said our plan is that we will be there for no longer than a day. In fact, with
Good
it just
assurance.
being a pump and fill, I think we're going to be at the beck and call of the pump guy to
Right.
empty it out and then fill it with earth and cool it off. So there's no earth movement whatsoever. So I did not show an erosion control because I don't.
Yeah, and they'll
Really,
probably,
they won't.
are they gonna plan on jumping on this pretty quickly, so they're in grass growing season?
Yes, and they're in process of transfer of title, which is what drove this, getting ourselves compliant, and this would be the time to do it.
So they're gonna get it done pretty quick.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Sounds good. All right.
So I'll make a motion to issue a -3 determination on the RDA in front of us.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? See none. Motion carries. You're in business. You can start tonight.
I'll make a text message or an email for that, that'll be about the extent of that.
Okay.
And we'll try to get that out as soon as we can and get it signed, because I'm sure you wanna get that going pretty soon.
And the Board of Health did contact me, I believe it was yesterday, indicating that I put a construction permit for Board of Health, and they called to say that they're good with that, so I'm pending the discussion. Do you have a question?
Just gonna make a motion to adjourn.
You have any
No,
other questions?
no, there's one more topic we should,
Okay,
I
so
have to mention.
we'll take a brief recess if that's.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, folks, good night.
Good night.
Thanks, have a good night. More on the agenda?
No, I think that,
I'm gonna make that motion to adjourn.
But again,
did you get, both of you get the signature pages?
no,
I'm working on them.
Oh, you're working on,
and we
okay.
still haven't talked about how we're gonna have our meetings from now on. Are we gonna go back to virtual?
For now, we're gonna continue doing this,
Okay.
unless anyone has any serious
I would,
objection.
you know, we're not pulling a big crowd.
No.
So.
I like the face-to-face,
Yes,
especially if you're looking at pouring over plans or,
I think that you should maybe have Lori give some engineers reminders to bring a plan for the easel,
oh, yeah.
because I think they're almost caught a little unprepared. It's so easy to share your screen.
Don't they have
and-
projectors in here? Isn't there a way to put it on a screen? The plan?
yeah, the screen's right there.
Oh, it's behind us.
I'm in wreck.
Oh, that screen!
So much for that idea.
You got all those already, Joe? There's like 12 pages there.
Just gonna say, make sure I got them all.
So our next meeting will be in person, Mr. Chair,
Yes,
unless otherwise
Unless we-
decided.
unless we are told by the powers that be.
And our next meeting is September 14th
September
at 7 p.m.?
14th. Right. And
Excellent.
right now, we don't have anything scheduled, so we do have this room reserved. So we'll plan on that,
Excellent.
and we'll see if anything shows up.
Does that satisfy the discussion about meetings, Joe?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to make that motion to adjourn official now.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.